And My Dogs Are Barking on MPW Digital, presented by Heath Riles Barbecue. My name is Landon. I'm joined by Austin. It's the Thursday picks. What do we call it, Austin? The picks and preview show? Preview and pick show. That's it. The preview and pick show, where we will talk about Mississippi State and Arizona State one final time before they kick off on Saturday night. And we'll also make our underdog money line picks. Austin and I are going head to head. I won for week one. I took LSU to beat Clemson. Austin took Baylor to beat Auburn. And so I'm 1-0 thus far. But this week, Austin, not a lot of great games to choose from, honestly, especially in the SEC. There is not a lot of good stuff going on.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. It's week 2. Not complaining about any football. So excited. But week 1, they just absolutely overloaded us. I mean, 3 top 10 matchups, so many ranked big games, big games. Florida State and Alabama ended up being a massive game. So looking at looking at this week, looking at the schedule for this week, it's not a lot of big games, one ranked matchup, but it's a really good matchup. I'm looking forward to Oklahoma and Michigan, which we're going to get into that a little bit later. But man, it's football, no complaints. And I don't know if you've heard this, but Mississippi State has a massive game at 6:30 on Saturday. So it's a lot to be excited about, even with the bad schedule.
Yeah, I mean, because at least you can say the football's here. And I'll tell you, we're starting on the Mississippi State side of things. Then we'll go to the rest of the league, because I do think Kentucky and Ole Miss is interesting to talk about. I don't necessarily know, it'll be a game I watch. But Texas A&M and Utah State. Texas A&M's favored by like 30. I don't know if they'll win that by that much. And then it's Mississippi State and Arizona State. And then, as you mentioned, Oklahoma and Michigan. So we'll talk about those games. Everything else is like Alabama's playing Louisiana Monroe. Alabama's just trying to kind of get back, just to get back to normal at this point. And Tennessee is playing, somebody that I don't even know, East Tennessee State. I don't know, it's just stuff that you're like, what in the world? And then Georgia, Georgia played Marshall last week, and then they play Austin P this week. And man, what a boring way to kick off your season for fans. I mean, geez, that's kind of hard to get excited about. However, Mississippi State is kind of a different story. The Bulldogs have a huge game, as you mentioned, in Starkville on Saturday. And there's been a lot of things that have been discussed this week. And, Arizona State using the cowbells at practice, and, State fans kind of making fun of them for that. But they're trying to get acclimated. Kenny Dillingham, mentioning that, goodness, they got to, the team has nowhere to lay their head, anywhere close. They're going to have to go fly out of Atlanta to, just to find a place to sleep, and then fly in and fly. Who knows what they're going to have to do just so that Sam Levitt can sleep, kind of thing. And so there's a lot that goes into this week, Austin. And I'm excited that it's finally going to kick off and something's going to happen. But I'm going to tell you something. If you are a football watcher, listener, all those things, and you're going to the game this week and you're trying to tailgate, or you're trying to stay at home and watch football, you've got to grab some Heath Riles. Heath Riles is the presenting sponsor of MyDawgsPod, and it's home to award-winning rubs, seasonings, glazes, sauces, marinades, injections. It's created by 2025 Memphis and May Grand Champion and 81-time Grand Champion Heath Riles. And his products are trusted by pitmasters and big backyard cooks alike for bold flavor and winning results. And look, you can get his products at over 15,000 retailers nationwide: Publix, Kroger, Walmart, Academy Sports. I mean, you name it, he's got it. But I'll save you some cash. Go to HeathRilesBarbecue.com. You can see his full lineup and get 10% off at checkout just by entering DAWGS10, DAWGS 10 at checkout. And it's going to be well worth it. Man, I love Heath Riles. Love his seasonings. His sauces are so good. Next week, he's going to be actually on the show. If you're a barbecue person, if you love to smoke meat, he's going to give some tips and just kind of talk about barbecue. Love it, especially for the fall. Heath Riles, grill with confidence, season like a pro.
Man, we got some big old home games coming to Starkville, coming to Davis Wade. And if you're looking for a Mississippi State hat, man, let me tell you, look no further. Hovey hats. They have high quality headwear that will have your friends asking about them. Take a look at their Mississippi State collection of hats. I mean, Landon's got the whole collection right there at hoviedrygoods.com, hoviedrygoods.com. Hovie offers limited edition hats in small batches, bringing a fresh look to some of your favorite teams. So grab your favorite hat at hoviedrygoods.com. If you haven't checked Hovie in a couple months, check back again. They release a lot of new stuff for a lot of new teams too as well. And so make sure you go check them out, man. They got some great hats. I want to see Davis Wade. I would love to see some Hovie hats around Davis Wade. So go check it out. That's their brand new one. Go check out Hovie hats at hoviedrygoods.com.
Yeah, absolutely. I love the performance hat, like the one that's got this kind of built-in kind of breathable material for if I'm running or if I'm going to be outside and just, you don't want to go outside and just sweat to death. And so, yeah, man, sure do love and appreciate Hovie Dry Goods. And also, man, you got to keep the caffeine going, got to keep the caffeine rolling. And I know one place that's going to be happening, and that is ARPA's in the heart of the Cotton District. ARPA's understands, Jose and his family understand that great food and drinks are best enjoyed in the company of friends and loved ones, but you also want a great atmosphere, all right? You don't want to go in and be like, this place is kind of weird, and, I just don't like the atmosphere here. Man, ARPA's this weekend is going to be rolling with so many different people. And if you want something to drink, want some great coffee, want some unique food, go to ARPA's and we'll save you 15% off each and every time. I'm going to give you a pro tip. Go in the morning. There's going to be a lot of people there. I mean, after 11 a.m., 10 a.m., it's going to be hard to get in the Cotton District. If I'm you, I'm waking up early. I'm going to ARPA's, getting breakfast, getting coffee, going home and watching some game day, or going to go tailgate, but I've got my coffee and caffeine. We'll save you 15% off. Mention that you're a listener of MyDawgsPod, and they'll give you 15% off today, tomorrow, the next day. Man, sure do appreciate ARPA's for keeping us caffeinated and rolling. And also, look, I mean, this weekend, Jeff Lebby and Mississippi State, they are trying to find a way, honestly, to find some guys that will kind of step up and kind of take the role that they want. And honestly, look, they're wanting someone who can be fast, someone who cares. And that's the same thing that you're going to get with ENT physicians in North Mississippi, man. They deliver fast, expert, and comprehensive care for patients of all ages. We're presented by them, ENT physicians in North Mississippi. They're the largest private ENT practice in the state. Their goal is simple: deliver fast, expert, comprehensive care for patients of all ages with ENT, that's ear, nose, and throat, allergies, sinus, dizziness, balance, voice-related needs, with same-day or next-day appointments with ENT urgent care for that annoying cough or sore throat, in-office CT scans, and same-day allergy testing, and access to their comprehensive audiology team, offering a full range of services from hearing aids to custom hearing protection to potential surgical options. ENT physicians in North Mississippi are committed to removing barriers to care, and they now have new locations in New Albany and Starkville, in addition to Tupelo, Corinth, and more. So get more details at entnorthmississippi.com or call 662-844-6513. So, Austin, Arizona State, the line honestly has not really moved very much. Arizona State is favored over Mississippi State this weekend by 6.5 points. And for some reason, man, I got to say that feels close to right. I mean, that feels like the goal of this game. And it's been talked about so many times. But Mississippi State fans have talked themselves into believing they actually can win this game. And I think it's possible to win this game. My pick for this game is for the Bulldogs not to win. But I think that they can be remarkably competitive and can still kind of draw some confidence. But how would you shape up this game, Austin? Like, how would you kind of frame it in terms of what this game could mean for the positive trajectory of Mississippi State or even the negative?
Yeah, I talked about it a couple days ago, but I mean, this is Jeff Lebby's big game. I mean, this is his biggest game as a Bulldog, but also if he wins this game, he will have something to hang his hat on all year. Like, hey, yeah, we lost to Tennessee, but remember when we beat Arizona State? Like he will have something. Last year, he didn't have anything to hang his hat on, and nothing that we could say, we were really proud of beating UMass. We can't say that. I mean, we were 2-10 last year. So if we win this game, man, it would be so good for the university. But if we lose this game, man, it would be, it just matters how we lose it. If we lose this game by 30, it would be bad. I promise you, Davis Wade will never sell out this season. This will be the most attended game all season. And a lot are on the line of this game. And I think our players see that. they're checking social media. They see how our fans, we went 2-10 last year, and we are still backing him. We are still saying, hey man, we have a real chance at this game. And so just for the Mississippi State fans, man, I mean, we're some of the best fans in the world. If we go 2-10 and we think that we have a chance to win this game, a lot of us are picking us to win this game. So I'm really happy about that. But we just got to look at, their team. Their team's a great team. I mean, their team almost went to the national championship last year. I mean, they got guys all over the field, especially in that offense, man. Sam Levitt. They got the Kanye from Army. He's a great running back. He had a slow start against Northern Arizona, but then man, this Jordan Tyson.
Can we talk real quick about the running game real fast? Because you mentioned, so Kanye came from Army where he had 1,400 yards, which the impressive part about that is, at Army, they're running the ball. So, like, knowing they're giving it to him, he's still 1,400 yards is amazing. And, yeah, he only had 2 carries in this game. It was Raleek Brown and the other Brown, I cannot remember. They're both last name Brown, both running back. I can't think of his first name. But both of them had 70 yards, and then Sam Levitt had led the team in rushing with, I think, 76 or so. And, yeah, Kanye did not even, really was not very involved. So there's several different guys that can attack you from running game. But Mississippi State, different opponent, different talent. But, I mean, 2 SEC backs, Matt Jones and Jeffrey Pittman, and Mississippi State really did a good job of shutting them down when it came to running the ball.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. I think the X factor for them is Sam Levitt. This guy, I mean, if you think about it, I mean, Jalen Milroe, Jaden Daniels, those guys who can run the ball effectively and pass, those guys have been unbelievable against Mississippi State. And we have really, really struggled against a very mobile quarterback who can also has an elite passing ability. I think Braylon Braxton, we did a great job of containing him, I felt like, but I think Sam Levitt is miles better. And I think that he might show that on Saturday. And I don't know what Coleman Hutzler and the fellas got to do to game plan that, but it's going to be, I mean, you got to do a lot of stuff. You got to throw a lot of different blitzes, different organizers, have a spy out. I mean, you have to do a lot of stuff because this isn't just another team. Sam Levitt is so good. And I haven't even started talking about Jordan Tyson, man. This guy had a great year last year, and he's coming back for Arizona State. He played unbelievable. Go watch those Northern Arizona highlights on Saturday. That guy's unbelievable. He's an unbelievable talent. And, our defense just have so many question marks. We didn't really find out much other than they're better than last year. So it would be really good to get Jet Jefferson back. I don't know if we're going to this Saturday, but yeah, man, Kelly Jones and those DBs need to find a way to contain him too, because Sam Levitt, I mean, they can really, really hurt us on the offense. And if it's a shootout, I'm just letting you know, man, if it's a shootout, I don't like our odds. I really don't like our odds. We haven't shown, with Blake Shapen and Jeff Lebby that we can win a shootout, and now we're doing it against one of the best teams in the country. So I don't like our odds in that. And so I just think this is a big game, obviously, but I also, at the end of the day, like I always say, I want to be right. And I gotta take Arizona State. As much as I would love to take Blake Shapen and the Bulldogs, there's just too many question marks. And this team won 2-10 last year, and they got to prove me, and I picked them against Arkansas. I wanted to believe in them towards the end of the season, but they just didn't show me anything. And I need them to prove me wrong before I can pick them in a really big game like this. And so for that reason, I got to pick Arizona State. But man, if we're going to be in Davis Wade, man, if they pull this off, that would be unbelievable. So I'm really excited. And if you can make it to the game, make it to the game. But yeah, give me Arizona State.
Yeah, and Jordan Tyson, you mentioned his wide receiver. I mean, he's a first-round draft pick of a wide receiver, one of the best receivers in that conference this season. And I love the way that Kelly Jones played last week. And Kelly Jones, we talked to him on Monday, and in the press conference, he was saying, he loves this opportunity to go best on best, playing against it. Like, why wouldn't you want to challenge yourself? Which is kind of the mentality you want from a cornerback, especially your starting cornerback, your number one QB, CB. And so I do. I like the thought that he's excited about it. But yeah, he'll have his hands very full. The part I do like is that we joke about Coleman Hutzler, but he has at least seen this team from last year. So I mean, you have a chance to learn from some of your mistakes. A lot of the times you play your these non-conference games, you just don't play the team again. You're like, I wish we would have had it back. Well, now he's got another chance with his best defensive player, Isaac Smith, back. and same starting quarterback, same receiver. So it's not the first time he's seeing it. So that's kind of an advantage for him to be able to see, okay, hey, I know a little bit of what this team is. I got a second chance at it with better talent this time around. And honestly, the defense kept as bad as the defense played against Arizona State last year. If the offense was rolling, I think State would have won that game. It's just the defense could not hold them, and State could not run the ball. I'm interested to see how State can run it in between the tackles. I don't feel like they're doing that as well, but they're going to need to run the ball a lot in this game. Overall, Austin, let's talk final predictions. Mississippi State, I'm taking Arizona State 27, Mississippi State 24. Just like you said, I don't know if they can win in a shootout, but that's how it is because of what we've seen so far. But you kind of have that mind and kind of that thought process until you get proven wrong.
Yeah, I'm gonna say 38-24. Wait, what did you say? You said 28.
I said 27-24.
Okay, I'm going to take 38-24. I just think that they have a chance to score a lot of points against us. Again, I don't know about our defense. I really don't, all other than they're better than last year. I mean, they only scored 30 last year, but our offense was absolutely rolling. I think this is going to be a game with not a lot of defense being played, to be honest. I just looking at Northern Arizona was able to move the ball against them. And we got a lot of people over there at Showtime who can really move the ball as well. And so I like us scoring 24 points, but I think they just get some big plays. I think there's some drives where they're going to score in one or two plays. I just see that happening where they just throw it up to Jordan Tyson or Sam Levitt just gets an unbelievable run. I just see it happening. We can't limit big plays like we did like last year. I mean, they were just so many teams that just threw it over top of us. Our corners couldn't get it. I just think that there's going to be some opportunities for them to score very, very, very fast. And so for that reason, I'm picking them having 38 points. I mean, that is a very high scoring game, but I really think that the defenses for both teams are not too good. So I'm going to say 38-24.
Yeah, State will also need to make sure they pick up the penalties or maybe to not pick up the penalties, but to take the penalties away from what they had. I think from what I'm looking at, State was tied with the most penalties in college football last week with 14. So yeah, you gotta take that away. Some of them were ticky tack, but some of them weren't. Like some of them were just bad plays on State. So very interested to see what it will be like. Let us know you're in the comments what you think the prediction is. Is State winning the game, and if so, by how much? Is Arizona State going to win, and if so, by how much? Let us know on Twitter. It's just at MyDawgsPod. Interesting things with Ole Miss and Kentucky, Austin, and we're going to talk about this right after the break. But Ole Miss is favored by 10 points over Kentucky, and man, oh man, I don't like that at all. I think it's going to be a lot different than that. So we'll talk about that. We'll talk about Oklahoma and Michigan, and also just looked at the reports for Ole Miss for the players that are going to be out tomorrow or on Saturday, and some interesting names that are on there. So we'll be right back after this break. You're listening to My Dogs Pod on MPW Digital, presented by Heath
All
Riles
MPW Digital podcasts are brought to you by our friends at Parish Brewing Company, located in the heart of Cajun country in Broussard, Louisiana. Parish Brewing Company's simple goal is to make awesome craft brewed beer, and they do it remarkably well. The doctor is introducing their new go-to IPA, Dr. Juice. It's a highly crushable juice bomb, dry hopped with a blend of their favorite hand-selected hops from the Yakima Valley in Washington. Dr. Juice's drinkability is sneaky good, considering it clocks in at 6% ABV. The pour glows a rich cantaloupe hue with a thick frosted haze, soft mouthfeel, an aroma and taste that's full of passion fruit, papaya, and blood orange, making it drink like a glass of freshly squeezed juice. They also have Ghost in the Machine. It's a double IPA brewed with obscene quantities of hand-selected Citra hops from Yakima Valley. Expect pungent grapefruit flavors and aromas, tropical fruit, less harsh bitterness than most IPAs. Again, it's Parish Brewing Company. Wherever you get your beer, check out Parish. Make sure that you look for them, because any beer that you get from Parish is going to be absolutely
on MPW Digital,
outstanding.
presented by
Thank
Heath
you from
Rawls
MPW
Barbecue.
Digital.
Not a lot of great SEC games this week. You got Oklahoma and Michigan, which is really honestly the best game of all. But other than that, there's a lot of non-exciting games going on. Ole Miss and Kentucky, I think, is the best because this is an actual SEC game. We'll kind of get into it over the next couple of weeks where that ramps up. But Ole Miss, Austin, is favored by 10 points over Kentucky. And I know Kentucky won last year. I know this one is actually in Lexington. But I really feel like Kentucky's the worst team in the conference. Ole Miss favored by only 10 is really surprising to me. Now, in terms of the players that they have out, Luke Haas, their tight end, the transfer from Arkansas, is out. Traylon Ray, the wide receiver, and wide receiver Caleb Cunningham is out as well. I don't know if Cunningham got any snaps last week. Could be wrong. Daquan Wright, the really good tight end, is questionable. Ricky Fletcher, they have three different cornerbacks that are questionable for this game. The great news for Ole Miss in their secondary is Kentucky kind of struggles with the whole forward pass thing. And I think Ole Miss is going to win this game. I mean, they might win by 3 touchdowns, maybe 4.
Yeah, no, that's interesting you said that. I feel the exact same way. I think that Lane Kiffin's going to have his boys mad after last game. I mean, nobody was picking Kentucky to beat Ole Miss last year. They ended up doing it. So I completely agree. Zach Calzada had a really bad week 1. And yeah, like you said, man, Mark Stoops and this Kentucky Wildcats team does not look very good. I think Lane Kiffin, Pete Golding, I think they have some really, really good players, a lot of big players. And I think they can limit Dante Dowdle because I think he'll be the X factor for Kentucky's offense. If they want to do anything, Dante Dowdle has to have another 100-yard rushing game with a couple touchdowns if they want to win this game. But I don't see it. I do not see it. This Ole Miss defense has so many good players. And I just don't think, I mean, like Kentucky might not score 10 points. Like this is going to be a really, really tough game for Kentucky. And I think Lane Kiffin wants to come out here and show that last year was a fluke and that Austin Simmons is going to probably run up the score. And so, yeah, give me, like you said 3 touchdowns. I like that as well. I like 2 or 3 touchdowns. And I think Ole Miss is going to score a lot of points against Kentucky.
Yeah. Like it's just, I don't know. It's just interesting. I mean, Kentucky's defense is a good defense. So, I mean, that could be a reason why it's only a 10-point game. But the problem with Kentucky is that all they really can do is run the ball. And if they get behind, you can't just be running the ball the whole time. You're going to have to throw it. Well, that's when you can make mistakes. And I don't know. I feel like Ole Miss this one's going to be out of hand early. The 10 points thing, I just don't get. Awesome. What about Michigan and Oklahoma? This is a really, really big game for Oklahoma, where Michigan is going to be visiting in Norman. Kickoff is at 6:30. What are your thoughts on this game? What's the line?
Yeah, Oklahoma by 5.5, and honestly, I like that. I really like that. There has to be some kind of rule where the biggest game of the week has to be played the exact same time at Mississippi State. We're 2 for 2 so far this season, so we'll keep you updated about that. But yeah, I like Oklahoma. It's in Oklahoma. John Mateer had a good week 1, solid week 1. And Bryce Underwood, man, I mean, he played New Mexico. He played good. Don't get me wrong. For a true freshman first start, he played good. But I think he's going to find out real quick that this is SEC. This is a Brent Venables defense who, everybody, one of the best defensive coordinators in the league. And now he's a head coach, but he's still over the defense. I like Oklahoma in this one. I think it's going to be very close. Sharon Moore is coaching this game because, they got to pick whatever games they wanted him to not coach, which is wild. But yeah, give me Oklahoma. I think that Bryce Underwood, I don't know about struggles, but he definitely doesn't play very well in this game. I think Brent Venables is going to make him uncomfortable just from the jump. And so I like Oklahoma in this game, but I see it going back and forth, but I got to pick the SEC, man. I think Oklahoma is not an elite team, but I think they're going to have a better year, especially with John Mateer, man. I really, really like him. And I don't think Bryce Underwood can go touchdown for touchdown with John Mateer. And I think that's going to be seen on Saturday. So give me Oklahoma. Give me the Sooners. That's going to be a fun environment, man, college game day. So that's good.
It is, man. And good for Oklahoma, man. They had a tough past couple of seasons. And I wrote this on Neil on Neil's 24/7 page, kind of a weekly Neil's Picks thing where everybody on the network kind of writes in a little blurb picking games, and I wrote that I feel like this is a game that we're kind of balanced when it comes to Brent Venables. This game will either mean momentum or mediocrity for Oklahoma in 2025 and possibly for Venables' future, but I somehow think it's mediocrity. I think I'm going to take Michigan to win 31-27. Bryce Underwood looked really good last week. Their defense is really solid, and I like John Mateer and I like Oklahoma. But I feel like the trajectory of the programs is a little bit different with Bryce Underwood being there. And, I mean, he's a true freshman in his first start, played really well. Justice Haynes had 159 yards. So they can run the ball, and obviously the defensive side of the ball is good as well. So I'm going to take Michigan to win that game. And if Michigan scores 31 in that game, look out for Michigan for the rest of the year because they've never really been an offense that can explode. They have great defense. But if they can put the both together, watch out for the rest of the nation. All right, Austin, I think it's time for our underdog money line picks. We're going head to head this season. I'm 1-0, but things can change all in an instance. Austin, who are you taking? Who's your pick for this week?
After going 0-1, Auburn made me look really bad. I had to do a deep dive. I didn't want to just pick any game. So this is not a top 25 matchup. Not a lot of people talking about this game, but it is an SEC team playing. I like Vanderbilt over Virginia Tech. I really, really like Diego Pavia. Virginia Tech played South Carolina week 1. Kylan Drones, their quarterback, did not look very good in that game. It is in Virginia Tech, which is the only thing that scares me, but Virginia Tech is favored to win. I really like Eli Stovers, the tight end who I thought was going to hit the portal after last year, but he stayed in Vandy for games like this. They could really start 2-0, and if they beat this Virginia Tech team in Virginia Tech, man, that would be a great win for Clark Lee. I know Vanderbilt, there's just so much hype there. Their stadium, I think, is finally done with their renovations after, for forever. And so I really like Vandy. I think that this is going to be a tough game to win. I could definitely be wrong about this game, but I like Vandy, and I think they represent, man. I really, really like what they did. I mean, after they got put on the map after beating Alabama last year. And so what a way to start 2-0. So give me Vandy. I like that.
Is in Virginia Tech at night?
Yes, it is a 6:30 kickoff. So enter San, man. It's gonna be a tough environment. It's going to be a tough environment. But Vandy, man, they play in the SEC. They play where the big dogs play, and so they've seen these tough environments too. So I think they're gonna be ready. They're gonna be ready.
Yeah, I think that game, Diego Pavia and company, they're really good at playing the underdog role, and they're an underdog in this game. I mean, I'm with you. I could see them winning that game. I question if they're going to be able to, whenever they're actually favored in some games, if they can do that. It's good to be the underdogs. Hard to stay at the top. Austin, my underdog money line pick is plus 135. It's an ACC Big Ten crossover. Luke Altmaier, Starkville High School, starting quarterback for Illinois, is playing against the Duke Blue Devils, and they're playing against the Duke Blue Devils in not Chapel Hill. Where's Duke located? Durham, North Carolina. So it's in at Duke. It's 11 a.m. on Saturday. And I'm going to tell you something. Tulane transfer quarterback Darian Mensah already had a lot of hype coming into the season. He threw for 389 and 3 touchdowns in their opener. Obviously, Manny Diaz is a defensive coach, so he's going to have the defense hopefully kind of locked in. Now, Illinois looked really good in their opener. They won against Western Illinois 52-3. And again, Luke Altmaier is really good. They were overall, their whole roster returned 16 players. But I like Darian Mensah and Duke to win this game. Illinois is favored by 2.5 in this game. I'm taking Duke to win 28-23. And man, we'll see if we can, if we're 1-1 after this week, or if I go 2-0. I'm excited to see what it looks like, man. And then after this week, we finally get into some better games on a more consistent basis. And I'm very excited about that. But, man, as always, thank you guys so much for listening to My Dogs Pod on MPW Digital, presented by Heath Riles Barbecue. Get you some Heath Riles, grill with confidence, season like a pro. Follow us on Twitter. It's just at My Dogs Pod. Austin and I will be there covering the game on Saturday. And we'll have Jeff Lebby's press conference. We'll have our post-game show. It's going to be very exciting. So, as always, thank you guys so much for listening. Follow us on Twitter. Subscribe to MPW Digital. Man, the best network in, during football season. McCready and Siskey on Mondays and Thursdays. And just a lot of really good things happen. So, thank you guys, as always, for watching, for listening, and we'll holler at y'all next time. Thank you.